It's just a fresh start, you know. I know that everybody worried about last year, but last year is last year, right? I'm here now, different mindset, different space. Just ready to put the past behind me and continue to move forward. And what better place to do it than here?
Haason, how would you characterize last year?
Very bizarre. Bizarre, weird, but as I said, right, last year is last year. Only thing on my mind is moving forward, looking forward to the future and looking forward to what I can bring to the team here, and like I said, continue to move forward.
You were drafted by Arizona. You started off as a linebacker, and Foot was your inside linebacker coach. Now you're an edge rusher, and you've seen what he's been able to do with Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul during that Super Bowl run here. He's back coaching edge rushers. How much of that was a factor to come here, have him be your position coach at a position that you've certainly excelled at?
As I stated earlier, a big factor, you know, the connection, just how he helped me grow as a player, as a young player. At that out in Arizona, the time, the attention that he took to make sure he understood my situation, right? A kid coming into the league who's never played inside linebacker before, somebody who was able to do it the way he did in his career. He understood that, and then did, like I said, his effort, his approach, everything that he gave me. A lot of that stuff stuck with me and allowed me to continue to grow as a player moving forward. So to reconnect with him. Maybe it'd be me teaching him some things this time around, but it's great to be back around with him. I've always loved his energy, even when got to play against him, no matter who he was coaching. He always had the same energy, excited to see me, made sure that we talked, always asked about my family, things of that. I always asked to make sure his family was good. We always kept a connection, so it's great to be back around him.
You talked about a Tampa connection with Bowles. Is that somewhere you guys had met each other, had engaged at some point?
I knew, yes, multiple times. I knew Todd before coming here. Evidently, our paths didn't cross while I was at Temple, but just knowing him from with his success there and how long he's coached in the league and the things that he's done in the league, he's a staple name. You always hear about Todd at Temple, so was no stranger to who he was coming into the league.
Haason, outside of just like the connections that you have with Larry Foote and Todd Bowles, what intrigued you most about joining the Bucs compared to other teams?
Just the fit. After talking to Footy, after talking to Coach Bowles, their vision for how they plan to use me here, that was very intriguing, something that I knew I needed. Outside of that, I felt like this was a team that was a couple short pieces away. I felt like that I could come, bring my knowledge, bring my abilities, blend it with the guys that's already here. You got great pieces, you got Vida, you got a young guy, Yaya. So just knowing that I could come here, help out, I thought it'd be fun.
You're listed at 6'1", 235 on the roster. Is that your weight?
That's what they say they got me at. Nah, but I'm actually around like 245 right now, in my bulking phase. So I've been training, keeping that up. Probably got to put a couple more pounds on coming down here for training camp. You know how that weather is. So getting ready to shed some of that off once I get here.
What makes you such an effective sack artist at not being the biggest guy?
Just my knowledge at the end of the day, being able to recognize things that's going on in the field or things that I see out there formation-wise or, guys' stances and sets like that. It just allows me to play a mind game with them. So I think that's my best tool. That's what I got to offer, and that's what helps me succeed.
Todd Bowles has said that he wants ball hawks. He wants guys that get the ball out. You've been somebody who's had great success doing that. What is the knack? How do you make those plays and get the football out with not just the sacks but also the fumbles?
Repetition. It's not to sound cliche, but practice makes perfect. One of the things, knowing that unorthodox at the position, my knack was how can I be different? What could I do besides just getting to the quarterback to stand out? And that was something that I worked on. I had to drill it time and time and time again. So that's pretty much what it is.
You agreed to terms, Haason, very, very quickly when the market opened up. Did you feel you had other teams that were looking at you, and was it a tough decision?
I did have other teams. I would like to say it was a tough decision, but it really wasn't. Like I said, the connections here, knowing who I would be around, that was something that I needed, right? After going through what I went through last year, being somewhere that felt like home, being somewhere where I knew I would be wanted, that was big to me, and I didn't feel like there was any other team out there that had what I was looking for compared to here.
You've been the main piece of a lot of great defensive fronts, but when you look inside and you see a Vita Vea that's going to tie up at least two guys, and the young guy can't see, to have that kind of pressure inside, how does that make your job easier?
To be honest, I think it's going to make everybody's job easier. You know, as a D-line, it has to be a unit that works together. So, like you said, you know, Vita, he's a force in the middle. Nobody can mistake that. Great pocket presser, and just an all-around physical talent. But what I'm able to bring, you know they won't be able to double him every time. You know, so it's one of those things where everything should open up, and as long as it's your, you know, when it's your time, you just got to make the play.
Hassan, you're a Jersey guy, and you played in Philly at Temple. Is there a certain edge that you can bring to this defense that had trouble making those key stops at the end of the 49ers game or the Chiefs game or that Commanders game that couldn't get off the field? It takes an edge to make that play and get off the field.
Most definitely. Like you said, you got to have an edge to play this game. I know based off the rules, it's getting a little less and less physical every year, but, you know, this is a physical sport at the end of the day. And you know, you don't make it far without having a certain edge, a certain grit to you. So I definitely plan to bring that here with me.
You've never lacked for motivation. You've always put up the numbers no matter what. But after that kind of weird year you had, how anxious are you just to go out there and say, I'm getting back on top?
Very anxious. You know, I feel like some people may have fell asleep. But if anything, more so for myself, I'm just happy to be in a great place and back to be able to play football and enjoy it the way that I've been able to most of my career.
Have you always come off the right side, Haason, or have you moved around?
It depends. It depends. Depending on the game plan. Most of the time I line up coming off defensive left, offensive right. But, you know, it's been things where I've been moved around, been able to match up here, there, and just use my abilities to, you know, try to win matchups. So, like I said, it's just going to all come down to game plan.
This is a very young outside linebacker room, with the exception of yourself as the elder statesman walking in the door. How much can you help develop some of these young guys alongside Larry Foote, who's going to be giving them great coaching, but you can be a coach on the field?
Just by giving, you know, just by my presence alone and just being a great veteran. Like you said, right, I've done this for a while. I have the knowledge, you know, just being what guys were to me, you know, alongside Footy when I finally moved outside linebacker in Arizona, I had Chandler Jones, and what a guy he was for me, you know, never stingy with his knowledge, always willing to, you know, show me things on the practice field, or even in game. If if he's out and I'm on the game and he sees something, he was always willing to help me. So just doing the same thing, trying to be a great veteran, be a great leader, and like I said, not being stingy with my knowledge. My thing is I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody be successful, and in order to do that, you know, I have to be able to share what I've learned to the younger guys, so that way, you know, we can keep this cycle going.
Hassan, you talk about going from inside to the edge almost like a reincarnation. Like you talk about how 9th year in the league, but 6th is an edge. How much did those first years help me? Todd likes to sometimes drop you guys back in coverage a little bit.
Helped me a lot. I see where you're going. It helped me a lot because it helped me understand coverage. It helped me understand what was going on in the back end. So that way I know if I'm able to do certain things in my rush plan. You know, if I'm going to have a little bit more time to try to work this move, or if the ball may come out fast because if we're a man, and knowing that, okay, they're going to try to probably get the ball out fast or create some type of matchup. Maybe I won't have time to try to work this move. So it's helped me out tremendously. You know, it's always helped me be in the right place at the right time.
I was looking back at your statistics against the Buccaneers. You haven't had a bunch of success against Tampa Bay. Was that part of the decision you come here with some respect because this is a team that has showed out?
I go, man. You know how it goes. They game plan for you and things like that. But it wasn't because of that. Purely because of like I said, the connections, the familiarity, needing somewhere that felt like home. You know, I wanted to be around a great group of men, and like I said before, I thought there was no better place than here.
Arizona was warm, but you were inside. It's going to be a little different here. But as a player that's going to play into November, December, not a bad place to be able to.
Not a bad place at all. A lot of people worry about the weather. I keep hearing, I've been hearing about that a lot. Not really worried about it, right? At the end of the day, we're here to play football, and football is played in any weather, any condition, so it's not even a thing to me.
Everybody talks about sacks, Haason, but talk about the value of pressures, moving the quarterback off the spot, making him uncomfortable, and making you feel your presence.
It's a big thing, you know. It's like getting into the quarterback head. If you don't get the sack, even if a QB hit, it just lets them know, like, okay, this guy is here. So pressures are a big thing. Sometimes they don't always work out the way you want to, but you know, 9 times out of 10 is just letting the QB know consistently, I'm around you, I'm here trying to get into their head.
On seven's kind of spoken for here. Do you know what number you're wearing, Captain?
That's the one thing I have not been able to get around to yet. You know, got to see what numbers are available and then pick and go from. I got you. I'll see what's available and then go from there. But yeah, it's all good.
How close do you think this team is to contending for a championship?
Very close. Watching, because I did watch some of the Bucs games last year, I know the offense was rolling really well. I know defense, you know, like I said before, it was a couple areas, you know, and that's why I'm here now, right? The team felt like I had, they felt like I could bring something here to help address some of those issues. You know, I'm looking to get here, blend well with the guys, get things rolling, get things humming, and hopefully both sides of the ball or all 3 phases can play complementary football, and we can do some great things this year.
Respect for Mayfield.
Man, tremendous. You know, I have tremendous respect for him just because of what he went through in his career and how he was able to continue to progress forward, continue to move forward. You know, like I said, same mentality. You know, our last years are the last years. Only thing guys like us are worried about is continuing to move forward and being the best that we can be every time we're moving forward. So, tremendous respect for him and what he's been able to accomplish.
As you come to Tampa Bay now, what would your message be to all the Bucs fans out there?
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be in front of the crowd. If anything, I can't wait to get in front of the crew. And I want to hear that the cannon go off a lot this year, man. So very excited. Hope the fans, hope the crew is excited as well. Looking forward to making this a great 50th.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Appreciate you.